Even as a majority of Americans don't know granular details about the refugee resettlement program in this country, the more they learn about the facts and figures, the less they like it. In a separate question, 69% of Americans said that they believe the United States, not the United Nations, ought to be able to decide who qualifies as a refugee within the refugee resettlement program in the United States of America. That 69% majority was held among both genders, across all age groups, geographic regions, partisan and ideological dispositions. Why? Because there's strong agreement that we in a self-governing democratic society ought to apply those self-governing democratic principles to whether we consider an individual to be a refugee under the refugee resettlement program and not delegate, indeed abdicate that power to the United Nations. They hear that as soon as you become a refugee, you qualify for all these welfare benefits, housing, government assistance, food, education, and they say, well, okay, but let's make sure that you are a person in need because we know so many Americans here are already in need. They do believe, they're very split on whether religion should be part of the qualification in terms of whether or not to consider you a refugee, but they are of almost a single mind when it comes to the United States, not the UN, governing domestic policy on who should be considered a refugee in this resettlement program, and by extension, what, if any, benefits they should qualify to receive.